Hello. Thank you for tuning into my channel. This is my Finish It Friday video for Friday, June 7th, 2024. So if you want to see what I've been working on this week, please stay tuned. Before I start my Finish It Friday video this week, I just want to tell you all about how much I appreciate you supporting my channel. As you know, we are over 10,000 subscribers strong. It has been an amazing journey, and I really appreciate all of your subscribing and commenting, sharing my videos. It is really amazing. I also want to send a special shout out to Diana, who sent me a super thanks this week. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for thinking of me and for thinking enough of me to support the channel in that way. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have no idea what it means that you are supporting this channel. I am so excited to share what I've been working on this week. It's been a pretty productive week. I have some exciting finishes that I want to tell you about. But if you saw the title of this video, you saw that I have really messed up this Type It quilt. So I'm going to show you what I did, and then stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to show you how I fix it next Tuesday. You'll get to see how I fix this problem. So this is the Type It quilt. I made it for my little sister for her graduation. Took it down to South Georgia. It was a big success. Everything went well. There were a few places where people wrote that is kind of be in the margins. And so I said, I think I can fix that. I'll just get some transfer paper and transfer it to a different part of the quilt. So I tried that. I still have one of the transfers left, but I'm not going to do that again. So this is the area right here. I'm not going to zoom in too big on it, but I think that you can see it really well right here, where I tried to do the transfer. And I'm fairly confident that it is user error, that I just didn't do it right. But the whole thing didn't transfer. And when I tried to get the transfer off, it didn't work. So now we have this kind of blemish in the quilt. And I'm not quite devastated, but I'm pretty disappointed. Except each mistake is an opportunity for creativity. That's what I'm going to go with, because I figured out a way that I can fix this. So tune in next week. I'm going to do a little applique, and you can go with me on that journey. I have not even started it, but I'm excited to share it with you next week. So when we come back next Friday, this will already be done, because I'm going to finish it either over the weekend or Monday to get it what it needs to be. There's another little section over here that really needs to be transferred, and I already made the transfer, but I'm just not going to do that. I will just let it be what it is, and I will try to cut it so that it's not caught in the binding. I don't know. It's fine, whatever. But I am going to fix this, so join me on the journey. If you have any suggestions, any words of encouragement, I definitely need them. Leave them in the comments. I'm going to take this down and put something up that's a little bit more positive. I just finished up the Scrappy Bricks quilt. I have it here on my design wall. And if I'm completely honest, this quilt is just a lot. There's a lot going on with the colors, just a whole lot. So I decided to go with this striped binding here. And to me, it's a little too light. It works because it finishes the quilt, but it makes it's just so bright. And if I had gone with a darker color, or if I had reversed the two bindings, so instead of the flange being dark, or the flange being dark, and then the stripes being, the outside border being light, I think that it would have had a little bit better effect. But overall, I'm grateful that it's done. and I got to try that stripe binding. And I think as a binding, it looks great. With this quilt, not really sure, if it's the best choice. But like I said, it is done. And so from this point forward, I don't have to worry about it. There is the dirt bikes quilted on here, which is um, just another layer, another element of this quilt, along with all these wild colors and patterns and binding. It's just another thing on top of these things. And then if we go look at the back, I haven't looked at the back against this binding. So let's see what that's going to be like. Here's the back of the quilt with all of those classic cars on it. If I'm completely honest, the back is not so bad with the binding. I thought it would be a little clashy, but it's not so bad. You can see it a little better there. But overall, the quilt, it turned out nice. I'm going to give it a label. Oh, let's zoom in on these cars. I'm going to put a label on it. Oh, you can really see the dirt bike right there. That's pretty cool. Look at that one. So the pattern shows up a little bit better on the back, which is awesome. I have to make a label for it, and then we'll be putting it in the washing machine to get it nice and quilty soft. But happy to have another finish in the books. I can cross this off of the list for UFOs for 2024. I have a few more things to share where I have a little bit of progress on. I have my great grandmother's quilt top here, and I did a little bit of work on it. If you've been following the channel, this was a piece that has been hand pieced by my great grandmother, and she passed away, I think, in the 1960s. And my mom asked me to finish this for her. Since it is hand pieced, I am repairing some sections of it by hand. So there are a couple of places that I worked on this week. I'm going to put pictures of the before and after. There's only like 2 parts that I got to work on this time. And I have there are a couple of other things that I need to do as far as repairing the quilt. So I was kind of stalled a little bit because I know that there are some repairs that I cannot make without either doing some, not embroidery, but applique on the top, like putting some patches on. So I am still thinking about those. One of those pieces I kind of worked on this week, but I just did what I could do by hand in the seam, and it's right here. But there's just some little places where the fabric is torn. So I know I have to go back, and I think what I'm going to do is put a piece under this instead of trying to patch it because it's such a small section. So just putting something under it. And I was looking at my crumbs, and I think I have some brown that will go under it. And so if I can figure out how to use like maybe the heat and bind, I don't know what it's going to do, but to adhere it to the back of this and then maybe secure it a little more with some interfacing. I don't know yet. But there are some larger sections that I'm kind of concerned about. And as I was looking at it, I was encouraged because there's not as much to repair as I thought there would be. But some of the repairs are a little bit bigger than I'm confident with. So like some larger tears in the fabric, I'm going to be working through those. I currently work on this about once a week. It is summertime, so I may spend a little bit more time on it. It will be amazing to get this done before the end of the year. And I really think that I can do it. I may just spend a little bit more time on it this summer, working on the hand stitching repairs, and then figuring out what to do about those larger tears. But it is a wonderful quilt, and I cannot wait to see what it's going to be like once it's quilted and be able to give it to my mom. Really excited. Some other things that I made a little bit of, I don't even know if progress is the right word. I'm going to move this over. I don't know if progress is the right word, but I have just some side kind of projects. I started these blocks last week, these 2 string blocks, and I have them finished. These are navy blue in the center and then green and gray. And I'm hoping to get 30 blocks like this to make a quilt. And somebody suggested, of course, they said, can you make sure that you're stitching on the wrong side of the fabric? I am, but it's just a busy fabric, and even the wrong side is very vivid. Hopefully we won't be able to see it through the top of the quilt. So I haven't noticed that yet, but hopefully we won't be able to see it once the quilt is all put together and complete. I did finish a couple of bears. So this is the most recent bear order that I got. So I put these together this week. They are super cute, and I'm going to deliver them at some point this weekend. I'm really happy with how they turned out. My only concern, especially with this bear, is I use a dark gray thread, and I kind of feel like the threads are poking through a little bit, but I'm not going to let it bother me. Next time I'll just be more mindful of that and use a more neutral thread. I use gray because I was like, I can use it for both bears and do them both at the same time. Maybe not the best idea for this particular bear, but still cute. Really excited about them. Ready to get them delivered. They keep falling over. Okay, and there is, let's see, there's one more project that I put up here on the wall behind me. I got a call from one of my nephews, and generally speaking, all of my nieces and nephews have a quilt except for my oldest nephew. And so he called this week and he was like, Auntie Erica, how much is a quilt? And I was like, there's no way that that I was going to make him pay like to do a commission. So his birthday's in August. So I've given myself a goal to finish this quilt before his birthday. He asked for very specific colors, red, black, and white. And I almost told him that he missed the boat on the red, black, and white because that's the Type It quilt, but it doesn't matter. What I've done is I've pulled these blocks. These are blocks that I made from the Starlight, Star Bright quilt sampler that I did. I think I did it a couple of years ago for a few months. We did these blocks. I did the red and black blocks, and then I also made some blue blocks, and I showed you the blue blocks last week. I'm going to use those on a quilt using some of my grandmother's old one of her old quilt panels. So my nephew asked for a red, black, and white quilt. So I'm going to use these blocks to come up with a quilt for him. This is only 9 blocks. I think I need at least 12, but I have some decisions to make about what exactly we're going to do with all these blocks. But this is going to be one of my summer projects. So I'm really looking forward to that. And that way I can do 2 things. One, I can make a great quilt for my nephew, but I can also complete a UFO that's on my list. So I'm very excited about that. It is going to be a lot of fun. And if you have any suggestions, any ideas about some more ways to incorporate these blocks into a quilt, I would love to hear them. If you have some other ideas for blocks to add, I'm definitely down for it. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do, but I'm looking forward to getting all of this together for my nephew. It's been a great week. I am really looking forward to the next week. I am also preparing for Vlogmas in July. And if you are new to the channel, that's where I do a video every day for the month of July about a lot of different topics. Of course, I'll still do my Finish It Friday. If there's a special thing that you would like to see, please leave it in the comments so that I can start pulling those things together. There are some ideas floating about making some aprons and doing like a quilt in a weekend, and then doing a small series on the long arm and how I'm using that to complete my quilts. So all of those things are going in. There are a few other things that I'm throwing in here and there. If you have anything that you would like to see, any questions you want me to answer, I would love to do that. Just let me know in the comments. If you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, leave them in the comments below. Thumbs up this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!